Hey guys, God, it's been so long, but I wanted to hop back into vlogging. It's 2019, it's a new year, I'm back at it. I wanted to just start out with this first video kind of explaining where I went, what happened to me. Not that I have like a million followers who really like genuinely like, oh my God, where did she go? But, come here, Kiki. Come on. Come on. Come here. Come on. Okay, well that's not gonna work. Anyways, but I wanted to just kind of hop on here and explain where I went, what kind of happened, and my whole goal of doing these vlogs was to hold myself accountable as well as be somebody that you guys can look to for motivation, inspiration, and I failed that from like September to December, failed. So I think it was the beginning of September. Well, let me just preface this with I've had back issues and back problems for years. My lower back is a mess, probably 10 to 12 weeks out of the year. It's awful. And that doesn't seem like a lot because, you know, 52 weeks, whatever. But my back problems get to a point where I physically can't get out of bed. I can't use the bathroom without screaming in pain, just trying to wipe myself. Probably TMI, but in September that happened. I think it was actually like mid-September, and it actually lasted for almost 2 months. There was a period of time where I didn't go to the gym for 11 days. That was a lot for me. I think that was when it was the worst. That was the beginning, the first 11 days of the back issue and the initial pain that I was going through. And it took 11 days for my back to get to a point where I felt comfortable enough to at least go to the gym and walk on the treadmill. I knew when I got back to the gym, I was taking kind of a big chance of re-injuring myself / making things worse. But I did it anyways, and that was probably not the best decision. But I had such like cabin fever almost, where I had to get back to the gym. I was driving myself crazy. I missed almost a week of work because I literally couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't walk. It's a whole thing. My dog's acting crazy. Anyways, I ended up kind of being out and not feeling great. My back was terrible for about 2 months. That was part of the reason why I didn't vlog. I tried to vlog kind of when I was like laying in bed, kind of being like, hey, this is my life right now. But it pushed me into this like funk that I kind of struggled to get out of. Feeling crappy about myself, feeling gross. And I never uploaded those clips. And that's on me. There were things that I could have done to, you know, continue holding myself accountable. Now, I didn't cheat. I kept very strict on my food plan, my meal plan, and I continued losing weight, which is great. But I felt kind of like I wasn't like going back in my progress. I almost like stopped. I think maybe that was more mental than physical, really, because like I said, I continued losing weight and I continued to show progress, but it wasn't kind of what I felt was good enough. So that was part of the reason I disappeared. The other reason was like the third day of my back problem. I was standing in my kitchen trying to make something for myself for breakfast. All I really wanted to do that morning was my cranberry juice and my fiber, so that's just part of my routine. I do it every day. And then make my shake for the morning. And I was standing at my sink. I think I was like rinsing out a cup, and I felt very dizzy, like that feeling you get when you stand up too fast and you get the head rush, that pressure in your head. I felt very sick all of a sudden, like all of it, it was just like that, and my head was just pounding. It felt like it was gonna explode, and it wouldn't go away. Like I kind of just sat there and grabbed the counter thinking like maybe I just moved too quickly in one direction and now I'm, you know, having a head rush. So I grabbed the counter, nothing was helping. And then all of a sudden I felt like I was going to throw up. And while all this is happening, I'm all of a sudden dripping sweat. Like I have sweat beads on my arms and I'm not doing anything. It was just like all of a sudden, like the light switched and it was like, it's over, you're dying. And I'm sweating profusely. I'm feeling like I'm gonna throw up. My head has still got that pressure in it. So I sat down in the chair, and I'm trying to, you know, control my breathing so I don't go into like this panic attack, because I felt like I was going to pass out. It was scary. It's happened to me a couple of times before. And I kind of knew what was happening, but I didn't know the cause. And that's what really worried me. So during that whole time, I just looked down at my arms and my arms were just like sheet white. I was paler than a mother. My lips were basically non-existent because the color had just gone. And then I was starting to lose my sight. I got that tunnel vision. I couldn't see very well. I was starting to lose a little bit of my hearing, and it was over. It was a nightmare. I ended up checking my blood sugar because I do have history of diabetes in my family. And it was like 98. It was perfect, you know. I also checked my blood pressure and, my heart rate. I couldn't feel my pulse, my radial pulse, because my fingers were tingling. I tried to check my pulse to see like, is my heart racing? Is it too slow? And I couldn't feel it because my fingers were tingling and they were numb. I ended up checking my blood pressure, and my blood pressure was so low it did not register on my cuff. And it was a little while later, probably 20-30 minutes later, I rechecked it again, and it was too high. It was like 150 over 102 or something like that when I checked it right after that happened. And then the next several times I checked it over the next couple of days, it continued to be high. I think the highest mine got was like 164 over 118. And that's high for anybody who is, you know, medically trained or just even knows about blood pressures. That's high, especially for a 25-year-old. And it kind of worried me. I know it worried my mom. While I was having this back issue, all of a sudden my blood pressure is going crazy. I'm driving myself. Well, no, my mom actually came to pick me up to take me to physical therapy, because I was worried. I was afraid to get in the car and drive when that happened. And my physical therapist is checking my blood pressure, going like, dude, it's kind of high, you know? So I ended up going to the walk-in clinic, and they were throwing things around like cardiac issues, and in my internal alarms were like, holy goodness gracious. So I kept track. They didn't put me on any medication, which I didn't necessarily agree about, but I'm not the doctor. It's not me. They just basically said, you know, yeah, your blood pressure's high, but it's not high enough for us to admit you or to put you on blood pressure medication, which again, I didn't necessarily agree with. They basically said, let's monitor it for a month, come back, you know, write down your blood pressures when you check them, check it at least twice a day. I didn't check it twice a day. I started feeling good. I started feeling a lot better. Blood pressure wise, my back was still out of whack. But I did check it probably once every other day, and I could see that it improved. But basically, I don't know what caused it, but I had a vasovagal reaction, basically your blood pressure dropping dramatically quickly. I don't know the reason. It's happened to me 2 other times. One time I was at home and my mom kept giving me a hard time, thinking like, were you drinking? What were you doing? Why are you acting like this? And I'm like, dude, I don't know, just give me a second. And then I was at the mall by myself. And it's a mall that's like 45 minutes away from my house. So it wasn't even like I was near anybody to come and get me if I needed to go to the doctor. I was by myself in the mall and I called my mom and I'm like, something's wrong. I don't know what's happening. I'm sitting here on the bench outside the store drinking a Gatorade. What do I do? She was just basically like, let it pass and then go get something to eat. It's probably your blood sugar. Looking back on it now, it was most my blood pressure, not my blood sugar. But I ended up feeling well enough to, you know, walk down to the food court, get some food, and then drive home. But this in particular occurrence was the worst that it's been, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. But that too, it was a month or so of just kind of like worrying about, you know, am I having a cardiac issue? Do I have a heart problem? You know, I'm 25 and I've never had anything. I've had like slightly high blood pressure, but not to a point where they're like, you're hypertensive. We need to put you on medication. This is too high for a young girl. It was just like, it was a thing where it was like, but it was like a month of worrying like, oh my God, I've got potentially a cardiac issue. My dad had a heart attack. So, I mean, there's that history there. My maternal grandmother had, you know, heart attacks, multiple heart attacks. My grandfather, he's got high blood pressure. You know, like it's all these things that are familial that I could potentially have, and it really just kind of freaked me out. And that too put me in that funk of like feeling like dirt, feeling like what I was doing to improve myself, to better myself, wasn't helping but making me worse. And it really frustrated me, and it made me very discouraged for a long time. Through all of it, I kept going to the gym. My back eventually did get better. But still mentally, I was in that funk. I felt gross. I never wanted to go to the gym. It was just this like never ending, you're going to feel miserable cycle. But I'm back. It's 2019. I'm feeling good. Quick weight update. I think last time we spoke, I was like 59, 60 pounds. I think maybe, I don't even know. But, I'm officially down 115 pounds now. Like what? I've noticed a lot of changes. I'll insert a picture of kind of a before and after, 2 pictures. The first is from the Shania Twain concert that me and my friend went to. Love you, Shania. We took a picture in front of the stage, and that was the picture that made me stop and go, oh my God, this is out of control. It was about 2.5, 3 weeks before I started my diet. That 2 to 3 week period, my brain was just doing the, you need to improve, you need to do something about your life because it's out of control. And then the second picture is a couple of days ago. I'm doing this community weight loss challenge with my mom. She is doing it basically through her work. And for her work, they post, for the team, they post like team member pictures. And the way they had it set up was that I went in and posed with one of the physical therapists standing on the scale. It didn't read the scale because it was off, but I knew it was like 199. But so the second picture was taken, and you could just see the difference. There's still a lot of improvements that I need. I still have like 48 pounds left until my goal, which is a lot, but considering where I started at 313 and having 163 pounds to lose, and looking at that knowing I only have 48 left, that's crazy. So yeah, that's kind of it. My meal plan really hasn't changed. I'm still doing my 310 shakes. They are going to be on my favorites list. I'm going to post another video here in the next couple of days of my 2018 favorites and kind of just what helped me get through the year with all these changes in my life. I wanted to just do that. It might be a little bit late. It might be a little weird to post one now, but it's still January, so I think I'll just do it anyways. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. I am back, okay? We're gonna do a new video schedule. We're gonna do one video a week, every single Friday, okay? Okay. So I love you guys. I am so sorry for disappearing for so long, but I'm back and I'm happy. I'm smaller than I left you, and yeah, we're just gonna kind of do weekly vlogs at this point, keep you updated on the diet, the fitness, my life. We're just gonna do it all, and we're going to be happy. Okay, I love you. Check back in a couple of days for the 2018 favorites. All right, love you. Bye.